Hey there, welcome to the Uplift. We got a great show for you, great cast of characters as well. Among them, these, a young trendsetter who found a way to spruce up the school week. Yep. Also, a woman who found a calling after she retired, helping those who may be in thankless jobs. A lot of those out there. Plus, a pro skateboarder who feels his way around the skate park before he gets on his board. Plus, a designer who launched a line filling a need that she saw in healthcare. And on top of all of that, a group of sled dogs that looks like a typical pack, but have overcome their own obstacles. All of that and so much more. You know what you're watching, The Uplift. Hey there, I'm Tony DeCopel, and this is The Uplift, the show that lifts you up for at least the next 30 minutes, you and me as well. And we begin with a third grader who became a trendsetter at his elementary school by dressing in suits and starting a school-wide tradition, kind of like the one we have here. Here's Steve Hartman.
Most 8-year-old boys don't get dressed to the nines. To them, suits are for bathing, and formal is a 4-letter word. But James Ramage of Chelsea, Maine loves to dress for third grade success. He started a couple years ago, and at first, the other kids didn't know what to think.
Every time I saw him, I was just like, okay. And I'm like, why is he dressing up?
James knew he stood out.
Did you just decide one day, I don't care what other people are wearing?
I don't need to look like them anymore. I can be who I want to be.
In any school, a decision like that can go a few different ways. You can be accepted for who you are, ostracized for who you aren't, or, in very rare circumstances, you can become a trendsetter.
It just kind of started.
Then more people started to do it.
Because it looked fun, and now people absolutely love it.
Today, once a week, Chelsea Elementary kids put on their finest for Dapper Wednesday. It's not a dress code. It's not because some adult said so. It's because the children chose so.
Nice dresses.
Teacher Dan Paquette was an early adopter and now an avid advocate.
Stop, look at this. You look awesome.
Being dressed up, kids are different.
It is.
I think it's a self-esteem thing, and then it carries with them all the way through the day.
All right.
The kids agree. Told me they love how it feels.
I'm a little itchy, but it's fine.
Figuratively speaking.
It feels like I'm not a kid anymore. It made me feel like I was ready for the day. It feels like I'm like a president.
When James started all this, he had no idea the impact.
What's it like to be a trendsetter?
It just feels so nice.
But he doesn't think every kid should wear suits. Just whatever suits them.
Just wear what they want to wear.
Self-confidence. Always a good look.
There's a skate park in Venice, California, usually filled with skaters practicing tricks, but one of those skaters stands out among all the rest. Elise Martinez has his story.
At first glance, you might not notice anything special about pro skateboarder Coco Atema. But Atema is blind. He feels his way around the skate park in Venice before he drops in to the bowl. All he can rely on are his talents and his sixth sense.
You tap it, you feel it, and you send it.
For Atema, blindness is not a weakness. It's a superpower.
Someone out there may not know that this is an option for them until it gets put on a wider scale. And that will push them to realize, wait a second, I can do this.
Atema wants to bring more attention to adaptive skateboarding. That's also the goal for the Poseidon Foundation, a nonprofit working to level the playing field for these athletes since 2008.
We want equal pay for adaptive skaters because they're just as talented as able-bodied skaters.
In addition to equal prize money for competing, Poseidon founder Michaela Ramirez-Guerin wants to see these athletes in the Olympics and Paralympics in Paris in 2024, and when the Olympics come to LA in 2028.
If we can't show children what they're capable of doing, then who will?
Right now, both goals seem unattainable, as the path to equality has been paved with roadblocks. And no one knows more about overcoming obstacles than Kanya Sesser. Sesser was born without legs and was abandoned on the side of the road near her native Thailand.
Look where I am now. Like, I'm either dead or alive, and I chose life, and I am here just killing it.
Sesser and Atema are stars on social media and at local skate parks, where they show up and show out alongside their peers. Both know there's a long way to go when it comes to parity in their sport. They are content with the progress they've made for now, but will keep grinding towards a better tomorrow.
Coming up next, a group of underdogs who are ranked among the top dog sled teams in the whole wide world despite odds that they themselves have faced. When she saw a flaw in hospital gowns, a young designer from Minnesota decided to reinvent those timeless garments. Here's Uba Ali with her story.
In a packed room inside Children's Minnesota.
We know that families will be excited to have this product available to them.
It really is a dream, to fill a need for not only the community that I come from, but for kids everywhere.
The nation's first modest pediatric gown was unveiled.
It is the first healthcare system in the nation to offer this to their patients.
With more than 10 years of healthcare experience, Hilal Ibrahim, founder of Henna and Hijabs, knew creating a more inclusive healthcare experience should involve medical gowns.
We all know that the patient gown is not the friendliest thing to anybody, adults, kids alike. So to have something where a patient can now walk without feeling exposed from the front and the back.
This collaboration with Children's Minnesota
launching the modesty gown is a major success for our healthcare system.
Provides pediatric gowns designed with sleeves, a closure that provides flexibility.
We wanted the patient to feel comfortable, but also cute.
And comes with a detachable Muslim headscarf called the hijab.
Very long process that was very intentional.
Intentional to meet the needs of patients and providers.
It's beneficial for the patients, but it was also beneficial for the care team, and they had easy access.
These designs were created with Muslim children in mind, but is available to all patients.
I hope that this gown brings joy to the children that will be wearing it.
One of the top dog sled teams in the whole wide world is actually a pack of underdogs, each of them overcoming odds and getting a second chance at their lives. And they're living them well. Here's Jonathan Vigliotti with more.
Out here in the mountains of Payo, Utah, just east of Salt Lake City.
Good job, babies. There we go.
The Rancho Lobos race team is gearing up for their next competition.
Woo!
After all, they're one of the top-ranking dog sled teams in the world. But something about this team of all-star canines might surprise you. They're also the greatest underdogs. Most were abandoned or abused before being rescued by Fernando and Dana Ramirez. The couple has helped them find a new footing in life.
How do you go from having a team of castaways to then performing with them, competing with them on an international stage, world championships? How does that happen?
I'm not artistic in any way, but dog sledding for me is my art form. There's nothing like assembling a team of dogs that have come from different types of backgrounds.
Very good. Good job, kids.
When they're all on the line together, it's a masterpiece because they're all working in unison and you're like one body. Whenever we're stepping on a sled, there's purpose to it. And whenever we're going and we're running, there's a mission behind it.
It's a mission Fernando's been on since childhood. He began racing at the age of 8, alongside his first rescue dog named Yellow.
Hi, Indy. Good girl, Indy.
Fernando's wife, Dana, who's actually allergic to dogs,
Oh, Mommy, I love you.
sees her love of the pack as its own kind of medicinal cure.
You look into their faces and there's a powerful connection that resonates into your soul, and it changes you if you're open to listen. And it's such a powerful thing that I say all the time, like, I would never have wanted you to have been a doctor, to be something else. Like, this is what we were called to do.
On their 55 acres of land, Fernando, Dana, and their 5 children foster nearly 100 dogs, giving them a second chance at life and love. And much like their owners, most of the dogs have found a new sense of purpose and belonging through sledding.
Any sport that involves animals is always concerned about animal welfare. How do you address that and those concerns that people may have with dog sled racing?
I'm glad you asked that question. We want to be advocates and ambassadors for our sport. And this sport can sometimes be seen in such a gray light. A lot of people are under the notion, or they have this misconceived theory that the dogs are forced to run, and we can't force them to run.
Their performance is showing how well they're being taken care of. And our dogs get chiropractic work, they get massage care. Everything that these dogs get is
Olympic stuff.
Yeah, it's far above and beyond what the average house dog will ever get.
So Fernando took me along on a training run. One of several he does each day. Where the dogs run up to 18 miles an hour to prepare for races as long as 30 miles.
I mean, it's amazing.
I learned about the rescue dog that came as a surprise to the Ramirez family, a blind puppy named Humberto.
That's my boy there.
Who helps lead the pack despite the odds stacked against him.
He has such a fire and a passion. This dog with no eyes, he's helping to lead an entire team. He ignites a fire in everybody else because he has such passion.
What is the message of that kind of recovery and adaptation?
I like to see it as if we really want to achieve something, life at times and most often will hand us a raw deal, right? We don't like the cards we're dealt with, but it's what we do with the deck we have at hand is what matters the most.
It's a lesson these dogs continue to put on full display at races around the world. Unlikely competitors representing Team USA in 3 world championships so far.
You know, I stop to look back sometimes like, how did this happen? You know, how did this happen?
Yeah. Do you still feel like underdogs?
Oh yeah, every day, yeah, all the time, yeah.
Though humility is definitely a top dog kind of quality.
Thank you, Jonathan. Coming up in a moment, David Begnaud introduces us to a retired postal worker who is now dedicated to thanking those in those jobs that we tend to think of as thankless. We take you now to a senior living center in California where a pair got the surprise of their lives when they met in the dining hall. Here's CBS Sacramento's Ashley Sharp.
He's pretty romantic, and he also has a great sense of humor.
At their Folsom senior living home,
I just really liked him.
a love story came alive between Rob and Faye, who met here in the dining hall.
We started eating at our own table, just the two of us, so give us an opportunity to talk a lot.
They talked and talked about life and loss.
I was married to my previous wife for 40 years. She passed away, and of course it left the hollow spot. I just felt I always wanted to be married, so.
Faye lost a great love too. Her husband died years ago. But unlike Rob, she wasn't looking for love.
I was never interested in getting married again, but he just changed my mind.
There was just 5 weeks till I proposed, so yeah, I figure at our age we can't waste any time.
So Rob, by hand, drew up the wedding plans.
Bride and groom would be up here, and the minister, my son-in-law.
And Saturday, the bells will ring at Brookdale Folsom.
Standing right in front of our fireplace.
Becoming bride and groom.
The throwing of the bouquet right here.
Steps away.
Straight back.
From where they met.
It's our first Brookdale wedding, and we're all very excited.
But Faye admits singleness suited her well.
Not having anybody tell me what to do.
Do I tell you what to do? I try not to.
Faye still wears her first wedding ring, and soon her second. A reminder a love lost doesn't have to be a last love.
If somebody is open to it, even if they're not planning on it, it's a pleasant surprise.
Coming up in a moment after she retired, she found a new job doing random acts of kindness. You're going to see how and why she does it. Coming up in a moment. After retiring, Gail Noble decided to dedicate her free time to thanking people who may be in thankless jobs. Her habit of helping others goes back even further than that, though. Here's David Begnaud with her Noble story.
As I travel around America, I'm always looking for those stories of ordinary people.
Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Doing really kind things for others. And that brought me to Oceanside, California, and the door of
Gail Noble.
Yeah.
Hi, Gail.
Hi.
I'm David.
I'm Gail.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
rocking that Grateful Dead tie-dye shirt and her signature plush hat. This hippie at heart is driven to give.
Oh my, look at all of these goodies.
Since she retired, she has made a job out of making people feel good.
What you got in here?
The muffins and the Oreos for the post office.
Almost every day, she drives around Oceanside, delivering goodies to people she thinks are working those thankless jobs, like the post office, where she used to work.
Your muffins.
She skirted the line and a little bit of personal space.
Yeah.
No time to chit-chat. She was off to her next spot at the UPS store.
Thank you, Gail.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Keeping us fed. She'll tell us, you guys have to have such a hard job. I know what you're going through. I've done it before. And here's some muffins to get you through the day.
And boy, does that make their day, as we saw following her around Trader Joe's.
Thank you so much there. Oh my God, Gail. Give some love.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Every day, this woman, she's an angel. There's a halo under this hat.
When did you start doing this, these random acts of kindness?
Probably I was like 5 or 6. My grandpa would let me go to the store and buy different things, and then he would take me where I wanted to give them. He started, nurturing that.
In you?
Yeah.
To give to others?
He said that's our job in life.
And that lesson she took to heart.
Which cookies do you want?
So much so that her youngest daughter, Nissa, describes her mother's generosity as aggressive kindness.
And there's the cookies.
Most people will perform the niceties, ask you if, maybe would you like? No, you're getting a cookie. You are getting a muffin.
Thank you so much.
And by the way, I know you didn't even want one. You're gonna get 12.
12 every week.
Right.
Look, Gail is unapologetically herself. The type of person who picks up a penny off the floor.
Someone dropped a penny and I don't want your register to be short.
The person who puts those dividers back in place in the grocery store line. When you see her, you might judge this book by its cover. But let me tell you what's inside. Gail was a female chief engineer at a Los Angeles radio station in the 1970s. She didn't know another woman with that job. Friends tell us that in the 1980s, Gail designed the interface chip for one of the earliest home computers, and the chip was named after her. She went on to have more than 50 patents to her name in different technology fields.
So radio led you to being a computer engineer and writing code.
Yeah.
For the U.S. military.
What got me to do that was Vietnam War. They put me on the stealth fighter and a couple other things.
And those were the codes that told them who was the enemy and who was the friend.
Mm-hmm. What I wanted to do was save lives.
Yet again, you wanting to help people.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Can I have a hug?
And that has been a hallmark of her life, and at times, a hardship for Nissa.
But I was never very close with my mom.
Because she was so different?
She's a little hard to get close to. I mean, you've seen how she is. She does her drive-by kindness. Yeah. It's kind of like a delivery service. Yeah. And then after my dad died, I did some work on myself, it takes some work.
And what did you figure out?
I found out that she is just a vessel for giving and being loving. And that's all she wants to do. And you can't help but be moved by that.
And now, Gail's giving nature is moving people all over the world.
Thank you very much.
thanks to Nissa, who created and manages Gail Tales. It's an Instagram account dedicated to Gail's kindness.
What was your wish for your children to be when they grow up?
What they wanted to be.
It's a place where people shower this 77-year-old widow with nothing but love.
Because of Gail's kindness, I chose to be better.
I follow Gail because I like her kindness, but also I believe she's a role model.
You're a perfect example of how everybody should act all the time and just not waste time judging others.
The response has been overwhelming.
Yeah, they love her so much. And I think they love what she represents. It's giving a lot of people freedom to be themselves. And what a beautiful thing to be loved and accepted for who you are.
There is such a beauty in you going from the child who understandably is embarrassed to the daughter dedicated to honoring and saluting her.
Thank you. Yeah, it was hard.
You are the daughter who took on a mission to honor her mom.
I didn't think I would get so emotional.
That is beautiful.
Thank you.
And now at 37 years old, Nissa feels pride watching her mother be herself.
What I get out of it is the joy of knowing that I've added some spark into each one of them.
I love that, Gail.
That's the best part.
Isn't that the best feeling?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
And thank you, David. That is our show. I hope it brightened your day, lifted you up. I'm confident it did. If for some reason it didn't, reruns remain free. I'm going to go find some good news.